Imagine for a moment that everything you want in life, success, happiness, confidence, peace, wealth, or even a sense of direction, is already within your reach. Not in the future, not in some distant dream, but right here, right now. The truth is, the biggest barrier standing between you and the life you dream of isn't the world around you. It isn't your circumstances, and it isn't other people. The biggest barrier is your own mind. Most people live their entire lives without realizing the immense power that lies within their own thoughts, beliefs, and focus. They get caught up in routines, doubts, and fears, and they never stop to ask the most important question: what if my mind is the key that unlocks everything I've ever wanted? That's where your transformation begins. Right now, as you listen to these words, your mind is processing, questioning, and imagining. And the simple act of listening with curiosity proves something important. You already have the power to shift your mindset. This power is like a vault hidden deep inside you, a vault filled with potential, strength, creativity, and resilience. The problem is, most people never learn how to unlock it. They settle for less because they think they are less. They limit themselves because they believe their circumstances are permanent. But you're here, and that means you're ready for something greater. Think about the last time you doubted yourself. Maybe it was when you thought you weren't good enough to go after a new opportunity. Maybe it was when fear stopped you from speaking up. Maybe it was when you compared yourself to someone else and convinced yourself you were behind. Those thoughts didn't just appear out of nowhere. They were planted by your past experiences, by what society told you, and by what you chose to believe over and over again. But here's the truth. Your thoughts are not facts. They are just patterns, and patterns can be changed. Now imagine if you could take control of those patterns. Imagine replacing doubt with confidence, fear with courage, and hesitation with action. That's not just positive thinking. It's rewiring the way your brain works. Your mind is like soil. Whatever seeds you plant, whether they're seeds of belief or seeds of doubt, will grow. Most people unknowingly keep watering the weeds of negativity, and then they wonder why their life feels stuck. But when you consciously plant seeds of belief, possibility, and determination, your entire world starts to shift. This is why unlocking the power of your mind is not just about motivation. It's about transformation. Because the reality is, motivation comes and goes. You might feel inspired for a day or two, but if your mindset isn't built on a strong foundation, you'll fall back into the same old habits. What you need is a shift so deep that it changes the way you see yourself, the way you respond to challenges, and the way you move through life. And that shift begins with awareness. Ask yourself right now, what beliefs am I carrying that are holding me back? Maybe you believe you're not smart enough, not talented enough, or not deserving enough. But where did those beliefs come from? Were you born with them? No. You picked them up along the way, like baggage handed to you by other people's opinions, failures from your past, or fears about the future. And just as you pick them up, you can put them down. You can choose to release them and replace them with something stronger. Here's something powerful to remember. Your mind doesn't care whether the thoughts you feed it are true or false. It simply believes whatever you repeat often enough. If you constantly tell yourself, "I can't," your mind will believe it and make sure your actions match that belief. But if you tell yourself, "I can, I will, I must," your mind will believe that too, and it will push you to act in alignment with that belief. This is why affirmations, visualization, and self-talk are so important. They're not just cheesy motivational tools. They are the keys to reprogramming your mental vault. Let me give you an example. Imagine two people standing at the edge of a new opportunity. Let's say, starting a business, going after a promotion, or pursuing a personal goal. Person A says, "I don't know if I can do this. What if I fail? What if people judge me? What if I lose everything?" Person B says, "I don't know everything, but I'll learn. I may fail, but every failure will teach me something valuable. People may judge me, but their opinions won't define me." Now, both people are looking at the same situation, but their mindset changes everything. Person A is locked by fear. Person B is unlocked by belief. And guess who moves forward, grows, and transforms? It's always the one who chooses to believe. This choice is available to you right now. You don't need permission, you don't need perfect timing, and you don't need every answer in advance. All you need is the decision to start unlocking the vault of your own mind. That decision is like turning the first key. Once you do, you'll start to notice doors opening where you once saw only walls. You'll start to see possibilities where you once saw limitations. And you'll begin to understand the most important truth of all. Your life changes the moment your mindset changes. So here's your hook. The part one want you to remember long after this message ends. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not the doubts you've carried or the fears that once held you back. You are possibility. You are potential. You are the author of your own story, and the pen is in your hands right now. If you want to transform your life, don't wait for circumstances to change. Unlock the power of your mind, and your circumstances will follow. The human brain is the most advanced machine on Earth, yet most people are running it with outdated software, old beliefs, negative self-talk, and limiting perspectives. Imagine buying the latest smartphone but never updating the apps. Eventually, it slows down, glitches, and stops working at its best. That's what happens to your life when you don't update your mindset. The first key to unlocking your mind is understanding the role of focus. Whatever you focus on expands. If you constantly focus on what's missing in your life, you'll feel stuck. If you focus on what's possible, you'll feel empowered. Think about it. Two people can live through the exact same situation, losing a job, facing rejection, or going through heartbreak, and one person will say, "This is the end for me," while the other will say, "This is the beginning of something new." Same event, completely different outcome, because of focus. Your mind cannot hold two dominant thoughts at the same time. You can't focus on fear and possibility in the same moment. You can't focus on failure and success simultaneously. You have to choose which thought takes the lead. The problem is, most people let their default programming choose for them, and that programming usually comes from fear. But you're not here to let fear run your life. You're here to take the driver's seat and redirect your focus. Belief is the fuel that drives action. Without belief, even the simplest step feels impossible. With belief, even the biggest mountain feels climbable. Here's the secret. You don't need belief to start. You build belief by starting. Think of a child learning to walk. The first step is shaky. They fall, they stumble, but they don't stop. Why? Because in their mind, walking is not impossible, it's inevitable. They may not have full belief yet, but with each attempt, their belief grows. That's the same process for you. Don't wait until you feel 100% confident to take action. Take action, and confidence will grow from the action itself. Your mind is shaped not by what you do occasionally, but by what you do consistently. If you feed your brain negativity every day, if you surround yourself with people who doubt, if you consume content that lowers your energy, then of course your mindset will shrink. But if you create habits that feed your mind, reading empowering books, listening to growth-focused content, journaling your goals, practicing gratitude, you slowly rewire your brain. Think of it like exercise. You can't expect one workout to change your body, but with consistent effort, your body transforms. The same applies to your mind. There was a man who wanted to become healthier, but had failed countless times at dieting and exercising. One day, instead of trying to change everything at once, he decided to build just one small habit: walking for 10 minutes every morning. That's it, 10 minutes. After a few weeks, he added another habit: drinking water first thing in the morning. Then another: preparing one healthy meal a day. Slowly, those small habits grew into a lifestyle. Years later, he lost weight, gained energy, and transformed not just his body, but his confidence and mindset. The secret wasn't a massive overnight change. The secret was unlocking his mind by building consistent habits. Transformation doesn't happen in a day. It happens daily. It's about what you choose to think, believe, and practice each day. Too many people wait for motivation, but motivation is temporary. What lasts is discipline, and discipline comes from training your mind to follow through even when you don't feel like it. That's the true unlocking process, teaching your mind to serve you instead of sabotage you. You cannot unlock your mind if you keep surrounding yourself with people who are locked in theirs. If you're around negativity, doubt, and fear, it will rub off on you. But when you place yourself in an environment where people believe in growth, where they talk about ideas instead of gossip, where they push you instead of holding you back, your mindset naturally expands. Your mind adapts to the energy around it. That's why successful people are intentional about who they spend time with. They know that unlocking the mind isn't just about internal work. It's also about external influence. Who are you allowing to shape your mindset right now? Are the people around you inspiring you to grow, or are they convincing you to stay small? If the answer makes you uncomfortable, that's good. It means you're aware. And awareness is the first step to change. Take a moment to imagine the best version of yourself, the one who has unlocked their mind. What does that version of you look like? How do they think? How do they carry themselves? How do they respond to setbacks? Picture that version of you in detail. Because the truth is, that version already exists inside you. The only difference between who you are now and who you want to be is the mindset you choose to practice every day. You have to train your brain like a muscle. When negative thoughts come in, challenge them. Replace "I can't" with "I will figure it out." Replace "I'm not good enough" with "I'm learning and growing." Replace "I'm stuck" with "I'm building momentum." At first, it feels forced, but over time, it becomes natural. That's how you rewire your brain. Through repetition, just like lifting weights at the gym. The more you do it, the stronger your mind becomes. And once you unlock the power of your mind, every area of your life begins to shift. Your relationships improve because you stop doubting yourself and start showing up with confidence. Your career improves because you stop hesitating and start taking bold action. Your health improves because you stop procrastinating and start making better choices. Everything flows from the mind outward. You don't have to wait for the perfect day, the perfect situation, or the perfect plan. The perfect moment is always now. Every time you decide to shift your focus, build your belief, create small habits, and surround yourself with growth, you're turning the key a little further. And eventually, the vault opens. There is a silent power within you that most people never tap into: imagination. Your mind has the ability to create pictures of the future long before they become reality. Every great invention, every success story, every achievement began as an idea in someone's mind. The chair you're sitting on, the device you're using right now, the buildings around you. All of these existed in someone's imagination first. This means that your imagination is not just a tool for daydreaming. It's the blueprint for your destiny. When you allow yourself to visualize the life you want, you give your brain a target to move toward. Without a target, your mind drifts aimlessly. But when you create a clear picture of your future, your subconscious begins working day and night to align your actions with that vision. It's like setting a GPS for your life. If you don't tell the system where to go, it will just keep wandering. But once you set the destination, everything begins to align in that direction. Here's the mistake most people make. They spend more time imagining their fears than imagining their goals. They rehearse failure in their minds so often that when opportunities come, they sabotage themselves before they even begin. They let "what if it doesn't work" dominate their thinking instead of "what if it changes everything?" But you have a choice. You can flip the script and start imagining success instead of failure, growth instead of loss, progress instead of setbacks. This is where the practice of visualization becomes powerful. Close your eyes for a moment and picture the version of yourself that has already transformed. What do they look like when they wake up in the morning? How do they speak to themselves? How do they carry themselves in front of others? Imagine walking into a room with that energy. Imagine facing challenges with that strength. Imagine what your relationships, your career, your health would look like if you embodied that version every single day. The more vividly you see it, the more real it becomes. Your brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. That's why athletes use visualization before games. They imagine themselves winning, scoring, succeeding, and when the real moment comes, their body and mind already know what to do. You can use the same strategy in your life. Imagine yourself delivering that presentation with confidence. Imagine yourself starting that business and making it thrive. Imagine yourself breaking free from habits that once held you down. The more you rehearse it in your mind, the more natural it becomes when the moment arrives. But imagination alone isn't enough. You have to combine it with belief and action. Vision without action is just a dream, but vision with consistent action becomes reality. Think about Thomas Edison. He imagined light when the world lived in darkness. People laughed at him, doubted him, even called him crazy. But he kept visualizing, kept believing, kept acting. After thousands of failed attempts, he succeeded, and the light bulb became real. That same principle applies to you. Your imagination is the seed, your belief is the soil, and your action is the water that makes it grow. Another key to unlocking your mind is learning how to control your inner dialogue. The way you speak to yourself matters more than the way anyone else speaks to you. If your self-talk is filled with doubt, criticism, and negativity, you are programming your brain to stay locked. But if your self-talk is filled with encouragement, strength, and resilience, you're programming your brain to unlock new levels of potential. It's like having a coach inside your head, either pushing you forward or pulling you back. Start paying attention to the words you use daily. Do you say, "I can't, I'll try," or maybe someday? Or do you say, "I will, I must, and nothing can stop me"? Those words are not just casual expressions. They are commands to your subconscious mind. The moment you shift your language, you shift your life. Replace weakness with strength, excuses with responsibility, and doubt with determination. Watch how your energy changes when you choose stronger words. Your emotions are also directly tied to your thoughts. When your mind is filled with empowering beliefs, your emotions rise. You feel excited, confident, and unstoppable. But when your mind is filled with doubt, your emotions drop. You feel anxious, drained, and hesitant. The good news is, you don't have to wait for emotions to change on their own. You can shift them by changing your thoughts. Next time you feel fear, don't ask, "What if I fail?" Ask, "What will I learn if I try?" That single shift changes fear into courage. Now let's talk about persistence. Unlocking your mind is not a one-time event. It's a daily commitment. The world will test you, challenges will come, and setbacks will appear. But persistence is the bridge between imagination and reality. Think of bamboo trees. For years, nothing seems to happen after planting the seed. But underground, roots are growing, spreading, preparing. Then one day, the tree shoots up rapidly, growing feet in just weeks. That's how transformation works. You may not see immediate results, but with persistence, the breakthrough comes suddenly and powerfully. Remember this. Setbacks are not signals to stop. They are invitations to grow stronger. Every obstacle is proof that you are on the path of change. When your mind is unlocked, you stop seeing problems as barriers and start seeing them as stepping stones. Each challenge builds resilience. Each failure teaches a lesson, and each setback becomes part of your success story. So ask yourself today, what vision am I holding in my mind? What words am I speaking to myself? What level of persistence am I willing to practice? Because the answers to those questions determine the quality of your life. Your mind is not a cage, it is the key. And the more you use it wisely, the more freedom, growth, and success you will create. There comes a moment in every journey when doubt creeps back in. Even after building new habits, practicing visualization, and shifting self-talk, you will face days when your mind feels heavy. That's when you need to remember, progress is not about perfection, it's about persistence. Transformation doesn't mean you'll never feel fear again. It means you'll learn to act in spite of it. Your mind is like a battlefield where two voices constantly compete. One voice whispers, "You can't do it, you're not ready, you'll never succeed." The other voice says, "You are stronger than you think, you are capable, you are ready." The outcome of your life depends on which voice you choose to amplify. You can't silence the negative voice completely, but you can drown it out by feeding the positive one every single day. Here's where resilience plays a powerful role. Resilience is not about avoiding failure. It's about bouncing back stronger each time you fall. Think of a rubber ball. The harder it hits the ground, the higher it bounces back. That's what happens when your mindset is unlocked. Instead of breaking under pressure, you rise from it. Life is not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to shape you. The challenges you face are not punishments. They are training. They prepare you for the greater future waiting ahead. Consider the stories of those who achieved greatness. Almost every one of them faced rejection, failure, and struggle. J.K. Rowling was rejected by multiple publishers before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team before becoming one of the greatest athletes of all time. Oprah Winfrey faced countless obstacles before becoming a global icon. What separated them from those who gave up wasn't luck, it was the ability to keep going when everything said stop. Your life will demand that same resilience. You may not control every event, but you can always control your response. You can choose to see failure as final, or you can choose to see it as feedback. You can choose to let rejection define you, or you can choose to let it refine you. The choice is always yours. Another powerful aspect of unlocking your mind is responsibility. When you stop blaming circumstances, people, or luck for where you are, you take back your power. Responsibility is not about guilt, it's about ownership. It's saying, I may not control everything, but I control how I respond, and I control the actions I take next. The moment you embrace full responsibility for your life is the moment you truly unlock your potential. This shift in perspective changes everything. Instead of waiting for opportunities, you start creating them. Instead of waiting for someone to motivate you, you learn to motivate yourself. Instead of complaining about problems, you focus on solutions. Responsibility is freedom because it means you are no longer a victim of life, you are the creator of it. Discipline also becomes essential. Success doesn't come from what you do occasionally, it comes from what you do consistently, especially on the days you don't feel like it. Discipline is showing up for yourself when no one else is watching. It's waking up early to work on your goals, choosing growth over comfort, and pushing through resistance when your mind tells you to quit. Discipline is not punishment, it's self-respect. It's proving to yourself that your dreams matter enough to fight for. At the same time, gratitude is a key that many overlook. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's already present. It doesn't mean you stop striving for more. It means you appreciate the journey while working toward the destination. Gratitude keeps you grounded, keeps your heart open, and reminds you that even small steps are worth celebrating. When you practice gratitude daily, your mind becomes lighter, your energy becomes stronger, and your perspective becomes clearer. There is also the power of contribution. Unlocking your mind isn't just about your personal success. It's about using your growth to inspire and uplift others. True fulfillment comes not from what you achieve, but from what you give. When you share your lessons, when you encourage someone else, when you use your journey to light the way for others, your own sense of purpose multiplies. Contribution gives meaning to success. So remember this: resilience keeps you standing, responsibility keeps you focused, discipline keeps you moving, gratitude keeps you fulfilled, and contribution keeps you connected to something bigger than yourself. These are not just principles. They are keys that open doors inside your mind that you didn't even know existed. The truth is, you are far more powerful than you realize. Every challenge you've faced so far has shaped you into someone stronger than you were yesterday. Every setback has carried a lesson. Every obstacle has carved resilience into your character. You already have proof that you can endure, grow, and rise again. The question is not whether you can, it's whether you will. You've come this far because deep down, you know you are meant for more. You know there is a version of you waiting to be unleashed, a version that refuses to settle, a version that chooses courage over fear, discipline over excuses, and growth over comfort. That version of you is not far away. It's already inside you, waiting for permission to rise. But here's the truth: no one else can unlock it for you. Not your friends, not your family, not your circumstances. Only you hold the key. Every choice you make, every thought you allow, every action you take is either unlocking your mind or keeping it locked. The question is, which path will you choose? This is your wake-up call. Stop waiting for the perfect moment, because the perfect moment will never come. Stop waiting for someone to believe in you, because the belief you need must come from within. Stop waiting for circumstances to change, because your circumstances change only when you do. Right now, in this moment, you have the chance to draw a line in the sand and say, enough. I will no longer let fear control me. I will no longer let doubt define me. I will no longer settle for less than I am capable of. From this moment forward, commit to unlocking your mind every single day. Feed it with thoughts of strength, surround it with people of growth, direct it with habits of discipline, and guide it with the vision of your highest self. Let every action you take be a step toward the life you deserve. Even small steps count, because small steps create momentum, and momentum creates transformation. There will be challenges. There will be setbacks. There will be days when quitting feels easier than continuing. But those are the very moments that define you. That is when you must remind yourself why you started. That is when you must rise and say, I am stronger than my excuses, bigger than my fears, and greater than my circumstances. That is when you prove to yourself that your mind is not your enemy. It is your greatest ally. So take action today. Not tomorrow, not someday, not when things get better. Today, start by making one decision, one shift, one step. Write down your vision. Replace one negative thought with a positive one. Build one habit that serves your future. Reach out to someone who inspires you. Take that first step, and then the next, and then the next. Because every step forward unlocks more of the potential that's been inside you all along. And as you do, remember this. Unlocking the power of your mind isn't just about changing your life. It's about transforming the lives of everyone around you. When you rise, you inspire others to rise. When you unlock your potential, you show others what's possible. When you choose courage, you give others permission to do the same. Your growth is not just for you. It is for the world. Now is your time. Not next year, not next month, not even next week. Now, the door is right in front of you, and the key has been in your hands all along. Unlock it. Step through it. Transform your life today.